Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Mr. Boskin Does Some Math. Today we're doing Illustrative Math, Grade 8, Unit 7, Lesson number 5, Practice Problems. First question here says, write with a single exponent. For example, 1/10 times 1/10 equals 10 to the negative 2. So now we've got negative exponents. 1/10 times 1/10 times 1/10 is 1 over 10 to the 3, because we're multiplying 10 by itself 3 times. Now, we can get rid of this being 1 over by giving it a negative exponent and making it the reciprocal. So 10 to the negative 3, similar to this example right here. Now the next one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. 10 to the negative 7. Okay, now let's look at what's in the parentheses first. What's in the parentheses would be 10 to the negative 4 squared, because it's all being squared. Now, when something is being exponentiated, raised to a power, we multiply the exponents. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Okay, next one looks like 10 to the negative 3 cubed, which is 10 to the negative 9. Negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. Now what have we got? These are not 1/10ths, those are 10s, so that's 10 cubed, because we're doing it 3 times to the power of negative 2. Multiply those exponents, and that is 10 to the negative 6. Excellent. What's next? Write each expression as a single power of 10. When we are multiplying, we add the exponents. 10 to the power of negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5. 10 to the 4 plus negative 1. 4 plus negative 1 is 3. When we are dividing, we subtract exponents. 5 subtract 7 is negative 2. Raising to a power, we multiply the exponent. So that's 10. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Multiplying again, so we will add the exponents. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Okay, dividing means we subtract. Negative 9 subtract 5 is negative 14. Excellent. Select all of the following that are equivalent to 1 over 10,000. 1/10,000th. 10 to the negative 10,000 to the negative 1. Raising it to a negative 1 just means 1 over this. 1 over 10,000. That works. Negative 10,000. Is negative 10,000 equal to 1 over 10,000? No way, Jose. C is 100 to the power of negative 2, which means 1 over 100 squared. 100 times 100 is 10,000. So this one works. 10 to the negative 4, which means 1 over 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4 is 10 times 10, which is 100, times 10, which is 1,000, times 10, which is 10,000. Yes, that one works. Negative 10 squared, well, negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. That one doesn't work. So A, C, and D. What have we got next? Match each equation to the situation it describes. Explain what the constant of proportionality means in each situation. Y equals 3x, 1/2 x equals y equals 3.5x, y equals 5 over 2x. A dump truck is hauling loads of dirt to a construction site. After 20 loads, there are 70 square feet of dirt. So this is the unit rate. The constant of proportionality would be 70 over 20, because it's 70 square feet per 20 loads, which is 7 over 2, which is 3.5. So that goes with C. What does the constant of proportionality mean in this situation? It means they do 3.5 square feet of dirt per load. Okay. I'm making water and salt mixture that has 2 cups of salt for every 6 cups of water. Two cups of salt for every 6 cups of water. 2 divided by 6 would be 1/3, which we haven't got. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that has to go with this one. So it would be 6 over 2, which is 3, and that is cups of salt per cup of water. Nope, cups of water per cup of salt. Three cups of water per cup of salt. A store has a 4 for $10 sale on hats. 4 for $10, that would mean 5 for 2 for 5, which means that has to go with this. So 5 over 2, which means $5 per 2 hats. For every 48 cookies I bake, my students get 24. 24 divided by 48 is a half. So this means my students get half the cookies. Okay, explain why triangle ABC is similar to EDC. Why do they have to be similar to each other? Well, this angle here and this angle here are vertical angles, so they're congruent to each other. If these two angles are congruent to each other, this is 90 and this is 90, which means whatever this is has to be congruent to whatever this is, because if we know 2 of the angles are congruent, the third angle has to be congruent, because the angle sum for a triangle is 360. Let me scooch this up a little bit so my head's less in the way. So the triangles have to be similar, which means there is a constant scale factor from one triangle to the other. First, we have to find some corresponding sides. Well, this side is the hypotenuse, the longest side of this one. This is the hypotenuse, the longest side of this one. So if I want to figure out what I multiply 10 by to get this, It's the same thing that I multiply 26 by to get 39. How do I figure out what I multiplied by? I divide 39 divided by 26 is 1.5. 26 times 1.5 is 39. 10 times 1.5 has to give me this. 10 times 1.5 is 15. So DE has to be 15. Now, what do I divide 39 by to get 26? It's 2/3 the size, so 2/3 times, I can't see. This side right here is 36. What's 2/3 of 36? 24. So BC equals 24. I think that's my last one. Yep, that's the last one for today. This has been another episode of Mr. Boskin Does Some Math. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.